Why are your kids moving back home with you? We're going to go over that today on Real Estate Daily. Yes, we're going over that article. I know everyone's on their edge of their seat, you Gen Zers, your millennials. We're going to go over that article as well as mortgage lending. Is it coming to a halt? Is lenders stop lending? Are they making their guidelines so tight because of all the volatility that the Fed has brought on? All next on Real Estate Daily. Welcome everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate, housing, and the mortgage market. Now, before we jump into this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to give you the best 5 minutes every single day in the real estate mortgage market right away. Let's jump right into it. Okay, this is from Money Watch. It's a Bloomberg Harris poll. It says, according to a new survey, and I'll kind of read, it says, more young Americans are living at home across the U.S. Here is why. And this is kind of big, astonishing numbers. According to a new survey from Harris poll Bloomberg, roughly 45% of people ages 18 to 29 are living at home with their families, the highest figure since 1940s. Guys, 45% of 18 to 29-year-olds are living at home. That's half of them. That's crazy numbers, right? You're telling me if I'm 29 years old, that's a scene out of Step Brothers. Well, maybe not. They were all 40-year-olds, but we're heading towards that all day. You know what? You want to be John C. Reilly, or you want to be in that whole situation? Who wants to live with their parents when they're in their 20s or 30s, especially not in their 40s? Wow, that's crazy. But let's go find out the reason why this is happening. It says top reasons. Now, let me pop that back up. It says, top reasons for returning home for more than 40% is to save money, Harris found. 30% of respondents say they're staying with family members because they can't afford to live on their own. Other factors include down payment, paying down debt, 19%, recovering from financial emergency costs, 16%, losing a job, 10%, according to the survey. These are crazy numbers, guys. This is since 1940. We're having Gen Zs more than 60% of Gen Zers and millennials reportedly moving back home in the past 2 years. This is what it's so important. If you're going to college or you just graduated from high school, you've got to know the two most disruptive technologies out there, AI and distributed ledger technology, DLT, with tokenization, which is a form of crypto. Those two are now being ingrained into our society. And if you have jobs that are going to be disrupted by them, you will lose your job. You need to go figure this out. Everyone's talking about JAD, GTP, or Bang. Guys, you got to look at what they can do out there. What does robotics can do? They've already gotten several McDonald's that are not or run only by robotics, right? Only by robotics. Obviously, we know that the advantage of that is that no one calls in sick, no one fights, no sexual harassment. There's none of that. In fact, all you need is technicians to make sure that those robotics don't break down. Hey, that's a field I would be looking at, right? That, cybersecurity, other things like that I think that won't be disrupted. Any manual labor, if I go out and want to build a house, you're always going to have maybe somewhere in the future, long ahead of us, we're going to actually see maybe robots actually build homes, but we're not close to that technology right now, and it's too expensive. We're 15, 20, 25 years out, but that's going to happen, right? I think that in my industry, I think mortgage industry is absolutely going to be disruptive. You can have AI bots actually have conversations with people, just send out information, send an email out saying, download all this information into our system, and the system then takes it and then looks automatically at your credit score instantly, looks at all your documentation, either requests for more or makes a decision in minutes. I don't need to have humans in there. I don't need to give out their basis points, 2, 3, 4, 5% that they're getting off of those. The mortgage companies are getting off of your loans. Don't need any of that. What I do need is to go out there right now and to make sure that you guys, as Gen Zers and millennials, know that your job is going to be secure for the next 20, 30 years before retirement. Otherwise, you're going to be a citizen of the state. And that's exactly here in California. They've already started that. They want you to be citizens of the state, meaning that you are going to be given a voucher or X amount of dollars on a monthly basis. You spend it or lose it, and that's all you get. You live at the poverty line or above the poverty line. I know you guys are saying, well, that's called unemployment. Well, I get that, but hey, this is what their plan is. It's been that all along. All right, let's jump into the next one. Mortgage lending can be halted by flood insurance programs, expiration, expert warns. Now, this isn't so much in Southern California, but this is insurance issues here in Southern California, especially fire. We're looking at flood insurance. The federal government is trying to keep the flood insurance down, so they subsidize it. But now it looks like that subsidy is about ready to expire. If that's ready to expire, we're going to see homes in the tens of thousands that are going to be uninsured. And those lenders will then turn around and will self-insure against it and then knock that cost down or trickle that cost down to the homeowner. So flood insurance is a big issue. Fire insurance is a big issue. It's just all these natural hazards are very insurance heavy. And with that being said, we're going to see this. I'm assuming that the federal government's going to step in. If they don't step in, they don't want you to be homeowners. And that is a fact. So get ready for this to happen. It's supposed to expire on September 30th. It says, and certain organizations are preparing to lapse alongside a possible government shutdown. Well, God forbid the government think this through before the shutdown, right? Because they care about the people and not about their politics. Wrong. All right. And from the bumbling idiots to the more bumbling idiots, California tax collections tumbled $30 billion in a year. Well, I wonder why. The number one state that people are leaving. And what are we getting? We're getting border crossing all day long. We're not seeing the taxes here in California. It's hard to build permits. You know, all the politics here in California are just garbage. And this is what happens. And then if you go look at the map, let's go look at the map here. Who's really the worst states? Well, let's go to Massachusetts. You know, they're only $8 billion in a deficit. Here's $30.5 billion in California. Hey, Oregon, what do you have? $4.5 billion? Okay, that's good. Now, here's the states that are doing fantastic. Okay, their total's up $25 billion. Here's another state, $17 billion. Here's another state, Mississippi, up $3 billion. 1 year change. Number two, it went up $459 million 1 year over year. It's a mess. California, again, is a mess. I don't know who voted for this governor. He's been a complete train wreck. But let's go read this. California tax collections are falling so fast, only one state took more taxes than the Golden State loss. Okay? Guys, who wants to be in a state that is anti-small business, anti home ownership, has already talked about bills of increasing property tax, right? Has crime going through the roof, right? Defunding the police didn't work. Now they're asking the police to come back. They don't want to come back. Who wants to come back? Especially in big cities where there is huge amount of homeless everywhere. This is not the way to run a state. I'm not talking to anyone out there in real, you know, if you live in the state, you know that this is a train wreck. And if it isn't, you know, if we don't see politics change pretty soon, this state is going to be an absolute transient state of homeless. And you're going to see more and more crime just build up because nobody wants to live in this state. So I don't want to go into politics too much. I've already done enough just in the last 5 minutes. But go ahead, go to downtown LA, go to downtown San Francisco. You know, you're going to see what a real zombie city looks like in the United States. What a tragedy. And the governor is worried about democracy. Democracy for who? He's the biggest dictator out there. Guys, thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. This is a Wednesday, and I know that there's a lot going on out there that you can make decisions on, but Today is a day that we need to start beginning to think about what's important to us. If our children cannot buy homes and our state only cares more about the homeless population and not about our children, then we need to think and rethink when we're voting out there, what is our real responsibility? Or do we just want to live in squander and crime and homeless like we are right now? You guys take care. I'll talk to you later.